Okay, my second case tonight is Stroman versus Colleton County School District, and this is on page 856 of the textbook if you want to follow along. Basically what happened, this one made it all the way to the United States Court of Appeals in the Fourth Circuit, and it was decided in 1993. So what happens, this guy John W. Stroman was a teacher in South Carolina. In 1987, due to some budget issues that the school was having, the school sent out a letter that they were not going to pay their employees the summer wages in one lump sum, but rather they were going to pay them every 2 weeks. And this really made Mr. Stroman upset, so he circulated a letter, probably an actual paper and pencil letter, to whereas today people would probably just send an email, which would change the parameters a little bit, but he circulated a letter encouraging all the teachers to stand up to this type of budgetary mismanagement. He also made some accusations regarding school funds and different things like that. But basically what happened, the letter made it to the superintendent. In the letter, he was encouraging other employees to take what he was referring to as a sick out during the exam week, meaning, from what I understand, that the teachers would take a bunch of sick days during the exam week and show the district that they were together on this and that they deserved to be paid in one lump sum. Superintendent heard about it, and he got a copy of the letter. He called in Mr. Stroman as well as Mr. Stroman's principal into his office, talked to him about it. At that point in time, he handed Mr. Stroman a letter which was already dated, saying that he was terminated from his employment. So they terminated him from his employment, and after that, Mr. Stroman appealed it. It kind of went through the battles, or through the rounds of the courts there. What ended up happening is that due to the accusations that Mr. Stroman made, this was no longer a First Amendment issue with the freedom of speech, but he was expressing those as a concerned citizen, talking about things like, misuse of public funds and how some people were making money and others weren't, different things like that. Then it says the letter observes that the administration cannot balance the budget and cannot cut unnecessary personnel. While these types of comments could be construed as another part of the complaint of an employee unhappy with the change in the pay practice, they might also reflect the complaint of a citizen concerned about budget mismanagement, particularly if taken on as a separate statement. Anyways, when this goes here, when speech arguably relates to a matter of public concern, we prefer to apply the approach taken in Connick and weigh whatever public interest commentary may be contained in the letter against the state's dual interest as a provider of public service and employer of persons hired to provide that service. So the issue here is that basically Mr. Stroman argued that the district was infringing on his First Amendment right and his freedom of speech, but because of the inflammatory and incendiary and also the accusatory language that he used in his letter regarding the budget and mismanagement, then it became as if a concerned citizen had wrote that, and so it kind of, I would assume it kind of caused an investigation, which made it so that it was a much more serious matter. So once it happened, the other issue, the issue that they ended up being able to, they upheld his firing, his termination from the school district. The reason that they did that is because technically Mr. Stroman encouraged the other teachers to take sick days when they weren't really sick, which is unethical. So he strictly and openly encouraged other teachers to engage in unethical and technically probably illegal behavior. And so for that reason, because he was encouraging and encouraging others to, disobey policies, and he was affecting the moral and basically the moral aptitude of the school, then it was determined that he was not going to be reemployed. private district, and the decision to fire him was the correct one. Well, I shouldn't say the correct one, was the one that was a reasonable decision, and so therefore it was upheld for those reasons.